Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is about Samsung and iFixit. So roughly 2 years ago, Samsung and iFixit got together to make the Samsung Repair Hub, and the goal of it was for Samsung and iFixit to work together to bring like a repair-friendly ecosystem. And the way they would do this is Samsung would make their phones a little bit more repairable, while also providing iFixit with the ability to get Samsung genuine repair parts. Well, as of a couple of months ago, Samsung decided that they didn't want to do this anymore, and they came out with the S24 Ultra that it was a little bit harder to repair compared to their S23 Ultra. And what they did in their S23 Ultra is they made the battery not necessarily easier to get to, but easier to remove from the phone by bringing back something that you would find in the iPhone 4, which was the battery pull tab. Pull up on it and the battery is going to come out for you. Well, Samsung making their S24 harder to repair and not really trying to work with iFixit finally said, okay, we're done. You clearly are not going to hold up to your promise. And sure enough, they didn't. Because as soon as iFixit did that, Samsung came out with a new contract for independent repair people and businesses that is absolutely absurd. Now, they even made iFixit do this for any parts that they sold. And it says, and this is coming from iFixit themselves, iFixit was told that they needed to tell people this. It says, because your order contains a genuine Samsung part, please review and agree to the following. And it states, I have reviewed the repair guide and supporting information. I acknowledge and agree that performing my own repair has a risk to myself and my device. Damage caused by my repair may not be covered by the device's warranty. I understand that iFixit will provide Samsung with my email and Samsung genuine parts purchase history to provide integrated customer care support. Self-repairs do not impact your warranty. By clicking Proceed, I indicate that I agree to these terms and conditions. If you do agree and do not wish to proceed, please consider other alternative repair options for your Samsung device. The reason why Samsung wants the email and your genuine parts purchase history is really unknown at this point. All Samsung has said is it's going into a database, which doesn't make sense. What are they going to do, with this information? A certain part of their contract, and I'm going to read it here. I'll also have it up on the screen as well as the last thing I read. A certain part of their contract states, companies shall not use any service part for any purpose other than pursuant to this agreement. Companies shall not resell these service parts to any third party. In addition, no event shall company copy, adapt, enhance, or modify service parts, or reverse assemble, reverse compile, or directly or indirectly permit a third party to reverse assemble or reverse compile any service parts. Companies shall immediately disassemble all products that are created or assembled out of, comprised of, or that contain any service parts not purchased from Samsung, and shall immediately notify Samsung in writing of the details and circumstances of any unauthorized use or misappropriation of any service part for any purpose other than pursuant to this agreement. Samsung may terminate this agreement if these terms are violated. So essentially what Samsung has told these people to do there is that once they get their Samsung genuine parts, they can't sell them to anybody else. They are theirs, and if Samsung finds out that this repair person has sold them to somebody else, they can get in a lot of trouble. They also are telling these people that any phone that is brought into them that contains a non-Samsung service part or just non-Samsung part, they need to then disassemble the phone and send it to Samsung within writing what the issue was. It's honestly absurd, because along with doing that, the repair person also needs to tell Samsung the name of the person's phone number, email, the person's phone's IMEI number, which is the certain identification number that helps you to get your cellular service on your phone, and your phone's specific serial number. These are things that Samsung doesn't need. There's no reason for Samsung to be getting their hands on any of this information. Now, iFixit came back and said, while we aren't going to be working with them anymore, we are still going to continue our mission, and what they are going to do is still provide parts for the Samsung phones, and they're going to do their best to provide OEM parts, but they're also going to provide third-party parts. So does this go against what Samsung is saying? 100%. But they're not under Samsung's agreement anymore. That's as of June 2024, so you've got 2 days. iFixit can at that point do whatever they want. It just really sucks because I've been a person who spoke highly of Samsung, and I've used Samsung for many years. You know, this is my current S24 Ultra, my last S22 Ultra, the A51 I had before that, the Galaxy S7 I had before that. You know, that's a phone. And then before that I had a J3 Eclipse and a Galaxy S4. Then I have tablets. This is my current. It's a Tab S6 Lite. That's a Samsung. And then before that, my very first tablet, or honestly device ever, this is a Samsung Galaxy Tab E. I've had Samsung devices for a very long time, and I've spoke highly of them because they've been a lot better than Apple when it comes to repairability. A lot of their devices were, and technically still are, a lot more repairable than Apple because they haven't gone into making their devices like hardware locked. There is a very few couple of parts on Samsung phones that are serialized to work only on that motherboard, and I think that is some of their fingerprint sensors, which kind of makes sense. But Apple has a lot of their parts serialized. Their display is serialized, and even if you were able to bring the serial number back over and put it on a third-party display, some things still won't work, like True Tone. Display brightness might not work all the way. You might get glitches up on the screen. You know, there's still a lot of things that Apple does that Samsung doesn't do, and it still puts, you know, makes Samsung look better. But even then, Samsung is still in a dark area with anti-repair. So it's just it's very hard for me to keep suggesting Samsung as a good phone company, or just in general company for people. Now, I mean, if of course, if you're not looking to repair your own phone, you're just looking to be the person that goes, oh, it's broken, let's replace it, then sure, Samsung, whatever. But if you're somebody who wants to be able to keep your phone for a long time, wants to spend money on a phone now and then use it for the next 6 to 8 years, at some point down the line something's going to break, or you drop it and you need to you need to fix it. Samsung's not going to be your best bet. There are many other phone companies out there who work with iFixit to bring genuine parts, and I believe they have a list that of things, like companies that work with them to provide genuine parts. I'm not sure where that's at though, and if I find it, I will definitely link it down in the description. I believe Motorola is one of them, but I can't put, I can't say that for certain. With all that being said though, I am no longer suggesting Samsung, and I will honestly probably never use Samsung again, at least until they fix that. So it'll be the last time you guys see me, suggesting you to get Samsung. It'll probably be, if I get another phone, it'll definitely not be a Samsung. A couple of other places that I could suggest you go to are Motorola. Motorola is good. I don't know if they make phones anymore though, so that's kind of a if you spot there. Um, Motorola, LG doesn't make phones anymore, which kind of sucks. They had some good phones at the time. Um, Sony makes phones, but all of theirs are like expensive. They're all made to do one specific thing, really. You have OnePlus. OnePlus is a good phone manufacturer. I'm skipping over all of the Chinese brands like Oppo, Huawei, um, Xiaomi, and I believe Realme is another Chinese brand. Um, just because within a matter of like years, America will just block them all, like they did Huawei and Xiaomi, I believe too. So there's no point in me suggesting them. Asus, they make good phones. Their ROG phone series is nice, and then you have Google. Google phones are good. I believe they also come with a better repairability score than Samsung. And then you have Fairphone, which is the sole purpose of that phone is for you to be able to buy it and then use it for a long period of time. They sell their own genuine parts, and you can buy them pretty cheaply. Not only that, but it comes with 5 updates after Android 13. That's their current phone, their Fairphone 5. It'll come with 5 updates after Android 13, and we're on Android 14 or 15 now. So you still have 2 or 3 updates, main updates left, and then you'll still get security updates for a year or two afterwards. So that's very helpful. It really sucks to see what Samsung has come to, especially it sucks for me because I've suggested highly of Samsung over the years to pretty much everybody I know and even to you guys. So, I hate to have led you guys down the wrong path. Um, but hey, we're here now and I know better now. It'll definitely be a while, even if they do go back on this, it'll be a while before I suggest Samsung again. I'll keep an eye on them. Um, I'll still take a look at some of their stuff and give you guys an idea of, if it's worth buying or not. Because I know that there's still some people out there who just can't do repairs on their own, on their own phones and stuff, and I get it. But I won't, you won't just see me offhand suggest Samsung as a, a company to go to anymore. Um, but iFixit is a major parts distributor, as I've said before, and they are going to keep going with their mission to try and create a more repairable future using third-party parts and getting together with companies like they once did with Samsung, getting together with companies to try and bring repairability and genuine parts into the market. But that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to release on that. I will put all of the links and my sources down in the description so you can find them all there. But that's all I have for you guys today. So, peace.